Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Victoria 2, A House Divided as Japan. And the first thing I want to do this time is take a look at the state of the world and figure out where we want to potentially plan a war. As I talked about at the end of the last episode, a lot of people had a lot of great ideas. We do still have cores on these little islands here, and they may not last forever. I'm not sure how that system works in Victoria, but it would suck to lose a totally infamy-free casus belli on Russia. You know, when we could go and claim this stuff. Oh, oil. Oil already discovered? Oh, we want that. We want that bad. We have cores up here, yeah, so we've got some more coal, which apparently is not quite as critical late in the game. So, you know, I do like the idea of Russia. The problem is, Russia is in the UK's sphere. So, really what we would want to do is get them out of that sphere. If we could. I don't think... Oh, and they're allied with the UK. And the Netherlands, and Portugal, and Spain, and Italy. You know what? Russia's just not going to happen. Nope. Just ain't gonna happen, even though it would be awesome. Their alliances are just way too strong. So, let's take a look at Africa. I think I've missed out on most of the colonization in Africa. Most, if not all. Political map mode. Because when I looked earlier, I hadn't finished my my naval base in Suez, and now it's finished. Yeah, and they're gonna colonize all that. So we're not gonna get any of Africa. We're just gonna get beat in the last few places, which is too bad. So that's expanding nicely. Now, a lot of people have pointed out that I really need to get an army on Suez, because if we go to war with some of the European powers, that's the first thing they're going to grab, which is going to suck for my war score. So the Heavenly Kingdom is in the United States sphere, and that might not be a bad thing to grab. Because they're not actually part of China, it would be very easy to pull off here. How scared are we with the US? Well, scared-ish. What's the situation in Hawaii again? Are they still having rebels? Oh, that's over and they're unsphered. Okay. I want Hawaii. Although it technically would give the US somewhere to attack. But I don't want the US to sphere them or build their own base there or whatever. I want to keep them at bay. So I think that that's what's going to happen. We're going to take Hawaii. And we're going to work on desphering the Heavenly Kingdom. So we're going to max that out. It's going to take some work, but we should be able to boot them out of here. And then maybe take that over as an easy territory. It is going to be a little vulnerable to China, but otherwise we're going to be okay. Militaristically, like, we are at 286 right now, partially because we're still rebuilding our army. But look at this, like, Prussia is on our level, and then the US has, like, quadruple our strength. France is only twice as much, but they have a lot more prestige. That's interesting. So we could potentially even tangle with France, but I don't think so. And, of course, the UK is just insane. How are the Dutch set up? They're allied with the UK. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I was going to say, what about taking their holdings? But I think there's just some very strong alliances there. France are... Well, that's what's in their sphere. Well, France is allied with us. But that's really all. France is technically vulnerable. We could look at taking their holdings. And Portugal, I think, is allied with the UK, aren't they? Portugal is in the sphere of the UK. If I break the spherage, does it break the alliance? I don't think so. So that's that. Anyway, we're going to try to unsphere the Heavenly Kingdom, and meanwhile, we're going to just try to annex Hawaii. It's not a huge military move. And I mean, technically, the justification is going to kind of suck. Can we not? Oh, they're civilized. Damn it. So we've actually got to do a conquest. Ouch. Which could actually send us over the infamy limit. Really? So we can't do that yet. Because we're 10 infamy. And potentially they could send us as high as 32, which would definitely be above the limit. How do we... Is this not infamy? There it is. Yeah, 25 is the limit. I mean, we might not be discovered at all, and even if we are, we might not get full infamy, but no, we can't do that. Still like the idea of going after Siam. They're actually in the UK's sphere, but they are not yet allied. I guess Siam is allied with China, though. And there's still Cambodia, which is going to be... I could probably just attack Cambodia, and Siam might not join. I'm gonna put some points in here. We're spreading out a little bit. Well, I guess I should choose one or the other, actually. We'll start with the Heavenly Kingdom. I'm going to put a pause on Argentina. I'm just going to keep it like that just to be bookmarked. I guess I'll do that here as well. And these guys, when they're capped, they shouldn't be costing me anymore because they're maxed out. Yeah, it's spending just a few points there just to decrease things. And then it'll recap out, but it should be okay. And same thing here, just to keep other people out. Or make it harder for them to compete. If anyone gets friendly, we should really knock them down a notch, but otherwise. Alright, let's get started. We're upgrading our railroad. Are we still building units, or are we mostly done? Still got a couple of guards being built, but mostly done. We've got plenty of units kicking around here. And yeah, I'm going to move... I don't have any good ships yet. Where's Bremen? Oh. In the sphere of Prussia. Now that's interesting because allied with like everyone in the goddamn world. If we want to start a world war, we go to war with Bremen. That would be really interesting, wouldn't it? And it's just to repay debts. Protected by one nation, but wow, what a chain reaction that would cause. Alright, I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, I want to ferry some troops. I really do need some better ships, too. Get that dealt with, but... how many do we need is a good question. Now, I think these are all going to be guards. Oh, no, we do have artillery here. Good. So, we're going to set up a fairly strong force, a fairly decent force. We're going to go with, sure, 5 artillery. And then a couple more. Now, we don't have any dragoons over here, do we? Well, we might. Oh no, we don't have anyone left at home. Oh, there we are. Tell you what, you come here. We're going to reorganize one more time here. Combine, tear apart. 2 dragoons for the flanks. 5 artillery. And we'll go with 7 guards, just to make sure if we lose some guards in the first rank. Well, it's probably not actually necessary, but... there we are. So this is going to be the, let's rename these guys. This is going to be the Suez Guard. Get on a boat. Oh, better railroads. Good. Pause for a sec. Grab you. Oh, I Friggin', I hate that. When I select the ships, I want the ships, not the troops on it. It makes no sense. And really, oh, okay, it can go through here to there and then drop off because apparently the actual dock is only on the Mediterranean Sea. Which is a little odd. Actually, I don't know if that's the Mediterranean here or not. Yeah, I guess it still is, right? I mean, obviously it is here. I'm betting it's got another name over here, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's all the same. Wow, geography. I suck. All right. And people keep screaming about Korea. They're in our sphere. There's not going to be any more conquest than that. They're basically our bitch at this point. They're not going to. I don't know. They give us our goods and this and that. They're not actually going to be part of our country, but for all intents and purposes, right now, they're good enough. Colonial pursuit in the locals, suspected of murdering a colonial official, happened to disturb a shrine of some importance to local religiosity. Manjuli are going to be a little bit militant, or militant in consciousness, which I think is okay here. I need to check my... Wow, that's a lot of closed factories. We discovered Martin steel, plus 5% production. All right. We do still need craftsmen here. We still need immigration here. We still need some craftsmen here, but they're all in use. Here too. Here too. So we don't have an excess anywhere. And Abu Dhabi. We have an available decision here. I can add them to my sphere. Sounds good. Bam. All right, research. Also, people keep being worried about the research, but it does keep adding up even if there's no research set. And then what happens is when you pick it, it very quickly like vroom, and then it'll kind of pause wherever you've actually got all your research points. It doesn't happen instantly, but it builds up pretty quickly. It won't this time because I paused it right after the last tech. Thinking organic chemistry. When people think commerce maybe somewhere unlocks the oil. I was curious about that last time. I still don't know. Even though something like organic chemistry might almost make sense. Or the combustion engine, right? Anyway, organic chemistry. Should be fairly accessible and fairly decent. And actually, I guess we've discovered oil already. We've got some here. It'd be nice to control it ourselves, but that's too bad. Fruit. Wheat. Coffee. Gold. Such a good region here. Infrastructure map mode. Yeah, everything that can be built is being built, so that's good. Alright, let's get things going. Has the ship arrived over here yet? No, it's arriving now. Actually took some beats. What do we got? Alliance offer from Abu Dhabi. Of course, I forgot. But that would be great. I'll let the ship... Well, actually, I guess it's not a repair issue. It's the fact that I've got my national stockpile spending down. Still making tons of money. The middle class are having a little bit of an issue, but that's not really a surprise because they're probably having trouble getting certain goods here and there. I suppose we could lower some taxes on the poor some more. I mean, I'm not having much, well, no, I'm not having much of a militancy problem at all. The rich, of course, are just laughing, so they're good. Here, we'll bring down taxes some more, since we can easily afford it. And then we're going to take our ships back home. So that's going to be a lot of troops tied up in Suez but if there's ever a war with European powers, we're going to be very, very happy for that. Military. And we can build some more. So what do we have left over here? We've got lots of that, and we could probably use... we lost a general.